Hello guys, greetings again once more from Best Passion and Reality, and welcome back to another session of our reality talk show. My name is Besem Hall, and today I'm going to be talking about 15 lessons I've learned in my 16 years of marriage. Of course, yes, I've been married for 16 years now. This is my 16th year in marriage. I got married to my husband. We didn't do they call it the German, they say kennenlernen. We didn't do it. The courtship, we had no courtship. We just came into contact, and it just happened like that. Boom. So yes, my 16 years in marriage, there are 15 lessons I've learned that I'm sure is going to help somebody. Yes, they are my lessons I learned in my 16 years in marriage. In my work for me, or it's working for me, it might work for you who is not married and is intending to get married, or who is in a relationship and wants to get married. Maybe these lessons are going to help you. But then they are my lessons. It's what I've learned in my 15 years of marriage, or 16, because I'm in the 16th year of marriage. Of course, yes. Wow, it has been so long. 16 years of marriage, 16 years of hardship. Like a friend, like an elder friend once told me that marriage is the only exam you pass it without even writing. It's the only certificate you get without writing an exam. Of course it is. It is the only certificate you get without writing an exam, because when you are married and you are into your marriage, that is when you start answering your questions. That is when you start writing your exam. So the lessons I've learned in my 16 years of marriage, I'll start with the first lesson. The very first lesson I learned was that marriage is a responsibility of two persons. Of course, it is a responsibility of two persons, because when you decide to get married, you are no more alone. So you don't more say, I will be doing this. It becomes we. And when you put it on we, it becomes a responsibility of both parties. So that is one of the most important thing I've learned in my 15 years of marriage. So I've learned that in order for me to make my marriage work, I have to accept that is a responsibility of both of us. Any decisions we take, it is a decision from my husband and myself. Yes. Why I say it's a responsibility of both persons is because getting married to somebody from a different culture, altogether from a different country, from a different background, it's really, really difficult to how do I put it, to break through that person. Yes, because I coming from Africa and my husband coming from the Western world, those are two different cultures. And that is a mistake most women do, because we go into marriage and think that marriage is a bed of rosaries. Marriage, when you want to get married, or when you get married, you're just going to get everything you want. Actually, that is what we think. Myself is what I was thinking when I got married to my husband, because when I got married to my husband, he met me in Cameroon. That will be a different story how I met my husband in a different video. If you're interested in that video, so just let me know, and I'm going to make a video on how I met my husband. So I was thinking, I coming to Europe is going to be, life is going to be so easy there. Everything is going to be, I will just see it, and my husband will go to work and give me everything I want. But within these 15 years, I've learned that it is our responsibility to both build this marriage. When there is a problem, we talk it out together. And we give our various opinions, and then we come to a conclusion. So that is one of the things that I've learned in my 16 years of marriage, that marriage is the responsibility of two persons, of course. Yeah, the second lesson is that we don't put our vows. We should put our vows first and not our feelings. Put your vows before your feelings. Of course, when you are getting married, why am I saying so? Our feelings can change at any time. At any time. You know, it gets to that period where you just like, oh my God, I don't tire for stay with this man. Now it be this self. You know, you get tired of staying with that person and you're like, oh, you know, I want to do something else. I want to go out and meet somebody new. I want to, you know, you want to get some changes. But then when you put your vows before your feelings, and whenever you think of the vow you made before God, before your parents, before the people who were there in your on the day of your marriage, you are like, oh my God. You say, yes, I do, till death do us part. So when I always think of that vow I made in front of my parents, my mom and my dad, because they gave my hand into marriage. When I think of that vow I made to them and I said, yes, I do, till death do us part, I'm like, you know, it just overcome that feeling of, oh, I'm tired of this marriage, and I don't want to, I don't feel like staying here again. But then I go back again and ask God. And what I do most of the times when I'm in that stage of like, I'm tired of it, what I do is I go on my knees, kneel down and pray. Yes, I pray very, very well. I do prayers, because for my marriage to be, or for me to be in this marriage till now, I'll tell you, is the will of God. God accepted this marriage to be. And anytime I have a problem, I go back to God, go on my knees and pray and ask him. Like it has been said in the Baha'i writings, that a man and a woman are like the two wings of a bird. Of course, we all know that if a bird is flying and a hunter happen to shoot that bird, and that the cartridge happen to touch one of the wings of the bird can no longer fly, the bird will fall. So that is how I look at marriage, and that is what has been keeping my marriage till now, because I look at the marriage as a bird, and being a bird, you need both two wings to fly. So I always go back to these quotations of the Baha'i writings, and then I'll read about it, and I'll like, but then if I have to think this way and my husband has to think the other way, this marriage is not going to work. So I always put my vows in front of my feelings, and I always go back and say my prayers and call God to come into our midst, and it always happened. It always happened. Another thing I learned, the third thing I've learned in my 15 years or 16 years of marriage, I'm in the 16th year of my marriage. Yes, of course, I am in the 16th year. The year is not yet over, so I can't say I'm 16 years already. So 15, yes. The third thing I've learned in my 15 years of marriage is that marriage is work. It is work. Oh yes, it is work. It is an assignment, a very, very big assignment. Like I earlier said from the beginning, that marriage is the only certificate you get without writing an exam. So when you get a certificate, then you start doing the assignment. It is work. When you go into marriage, there is so many things you are expecting, so many. And when you are not psychologically prepared, when your mind is not psychologically prepared for it, you would think that everything is just going to be very, very easy. you have to work, you have to do the housework, you have to, then when kids start coming inside, you have to start taking care of your husband, you have to start taking care of your kids. So when you go into marriage, you just have to get it in your back of your mind that you are not going to make everything like like very, very easy. It's not going to be easy. So I have learned this in my 15 years of marriage, that it's not going to be easy. And I'm going through the assignment every day. Every new day, there is something new I have to learn, because my husband and I are two contrary people, two opposite people. What I like is not what he likes. Yeah. What I like is not what he likes. So we just have to accept each other and try to see how to manage the faults of each other and to flow with our various differences. Yes. So, like I said, marriage is work. It's hard work. You have the housework there. You have your own work. If you are a worker, if you are somebody that is working, you have to go to work. You have to come back. You have to cook. You have to, I used to remember back in the days when my mom would sit in the kitchen and he's talking alone. And then I'll be asking myself, at times I'll ask my mom, Mama, but what you used to talk you want? So why is it like you like for talk you want? She would just laugh at me. She would look at me and then smile. She would say anything. So in my years in marriage now, I come to realize why my mom was always talking alone, because there were so many things that was going on in her head, and she has to talk it out to like put things together. At times you hear her talking, wait, the picking they will chop wait till tomorrow. Wait till they will chop tomorrow. We'll go farm to do, we'll go get to make cassava, and I'm like, hey mama, do you have to worry for us what we are going to eat tomorrow? We are still on today. And she's like, oh, maybe you don't know it, you don't know, just wait when you go get married. So in my 15 years of marriage now, I've realized that marriage is really, really work. It's a work. It's a big assignment. It's a big assignment that we have to be ready for it. And if you are not ready for this assignment, then you're going to fail, like I'll say. Another thing, the fourth thing I've learned in my 15 years of marriage is that when I say we, my husband and I and my husband, no, the other way, my husband and I, we are one person. Yes, we are one person. We have each other's back. We are one person. Yes. Because if I take a decision, if something comes up and I take a decision, it's the same decision my husband is going to take. So we always take decisions together. We don't take decisions and inform the other person. No. Like they will say in the Baha'i writings, you have to do consultation, and that is one of the things that is keeping my marriage moving, because I always bring the Baha'i teaching, the Baha'i education into my marriage, how a couple is supposed to live. So I have learned in my 15 years of marriage that we are one. My husband and I are one person. His account is my account. I'm that type of person that I like doing my saving by myself. I'll just tell you guys a short story. When I got married to my husband, like that village African woman who have left Cameroon and is coming to Germany, you're coming to Europe, money. When you come to Europe, my ambition was, when I come to Europe, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to learn and then pick up a good job. To be honest with you guys, I didn't know that in Germany they don't speak English. So I was like, yeah, you are going to enroll into the university and get your degree, pick up a good job, work your money, and you are going to help people back at home. Come on. When I got here, I was like, okay, it's not what I was thinking. So I got into the German system and I started into the European system. And I started like, okay, This is not what I was expecting. This is not what I was waiting for my marriage. This is not what, okay. I came to realize that we have to do things as husband and wife. I remember when I wanted to open my own account, my husband was like, no, he had to give me the disadvantages of not having a separate account and the advantages. And I was like, oh, because I'm that type of person that when I want something, I'll sing it today, tomorrow, and next tomorrow. If you think you can't do it for me now, I don't insist. I will just start by telling you. And if I talk and you don't listen, at times he will listen and he will like, no, you don't have to do it that way. We have to do it the other way. I will sit quiet. 2 days later, I'll bring up the same topic. The same topic will come up. Yeah, but don't you think what I said last time, we have to, the same topic will come up. He will be like, that's my son ringing. He's coming from sport. So sorry. He'll be like, oh, you this woman again. Oh, I've already talked about it now. I'll be like, yeah, but we didn't have a conclusion about it. 3 days later, 4 days later, a week later, and you know, when I just keep insisting, you'll see him, you'll say, okay, just do it. But no, if you do it and it backfires, you are responsible for it. So what I learned in marriage, in my 15 years of marriage, is that we have to have each other's back. If you call my husband and tell my husband, Besem has done this, I bet you my husband will tell you, before you telling him what I've done, he will already tell you, because everything I do, I tell my husband. So he's, what is it? Yeah. Hello. He is like my best friend. Yes, he is my best friend. I will just tell you guys a story, because I don't play with my oh sorry, my earring is like want to come out. Oh, it's okay. Like I said, we are having each other's back. So having each other means we have to be there for each other. That's just it. You can't come and tell my husband a story about me. Before you telling him that story, he already knows. I've already told him, so he knows everything about me. My phone is free. He goes to my phone. At times there are friends I chat with, and they'll be like, you are chatting with me like that. If your husband sees your phone, I will tell them, well, if he sees it, it means it's his problem. Why is he searching? If he wants to see, my phone is free. My phone is always open. Anything I do, if I do something, I'll talk to him. I'm sorry about it. If something that annoys him, I'll tell him I'm sorry. Give him a reason why I do it, why I did it that way, and please forgive me. And that's just it. That's just it. So that is one of the things I've learned in my 15 years of marriage, that we have to be, we are like, they will say in the Christian religion, like a sister's keeper, like a brother's keeper or whatever. So my husband and I are like one. I'll tell you what, because at times we both are against our kids. There are things that our kids will do, and when we look at each other, my husband will say no and I will say no. So what I'm just trying to say in the with this point is that we have to be like one, having each other. You have to have each other. You don't have to let relatives to come inside. I remember when I came, I think a few years later, I told my husband I would like us to move to England, because I was thinking to enroll in the university, and I was not speaking German at that time. And he was like, okay, so let's go and inform her mom. We went to the mom's place, and we had to inform the mom, and the mom was like, she was so pissed off because she didn't want us to move. And for my husband, it was very okay. So when we left there and we came back home, and my husband was like, we'll be leaving, we'll have to do our arrangement. And then I told him, no, do you know what, Daddy, we are not leaving. We'll not be moving to England because mom is angry, and you know, I can't leave to England. I can't disobey my mother-in-law. I put it that way because for me it was like disobeying her. So my mother-in-law, she could not stop us because she knows she can stop the son from doing what he wants to do. And my husband was already for it, but I had to bring a reason, give him a reason to understand why we are not supposed to move again, because the mom was angry. So you just have to be there for each other. Another thing I've learned, I think that's the fifth thing I've learned in my 15 years of marriage is that communication. Yes, when I talk of communication, it's a huge bundle of it all together. Very big. Communication is one of the things that keeps a relationship going. It was first of all difficult for us because we, like I said, we didn't do any courtship. There was no Kennen Lennon in our relationship. So it was very, very difficult because we are two different people. I like talking on the phone. I'm a phone tribe. My husband doesn't like talking on the phone. I don't like watching TV. I don't like watching TV, and he is a TV type. So it's really difficult for us. It was very, very difficult for us. But I came to realize that communication is that type of person. Is that thing that has kept our marriage, or has kept our marriage moving. Yes, and that is one of the most important thing. I would say most important, that I've learned in my 15 years of marriage. You know, if you don't communicate with your partner will not know what you are thinking of. There are times that my husband gets angry. He's that type of person that doesn't talk. He wants you to read his mind, you know. And there's no way you can read somebody's mind. There is no way. You can't get into that person's mind and read what the person is thinking. At times, something is going up in his head, and he will expect that you should read what is going up in his head. Oh, come on. Am I a magician? Am I God? Am I a prophet? I can't do that. So as time goes on, I try to bring him to that light of communication. You have to talk to me. If there is something I've done that is not right, if you are not happy about it, talk to me. And I'm that type of person that when I'm angry, I don't talk. Yes, and this is one of the things that I've been fighting with it so much in these 15 years of my marriage. When I'm angry, I just put on this moody face and I'm walking around, you know. I'll be like, you know, but my husband, he doesn't even realize it. He doesn't even, you know, I've been like, what? Don't you see that for the past 2 days I've been so moody? I don't feel happy. I just thought you wanted to have some quiet moments for yourself. That's what he would tell me. I just thought I was thinking you don't feel like talking. You just want to have some quiet moment. I was like, oh, really? So that is when I discovered that, oh, communication is one of the most important things. Because if you don't communicate, he will not know what is going on. If I'm angry and I don't tell him, he doesn't know. And it is that type of person that I will always tell him, if you are angry with me, if I do something that is wrong and you are not happy about it, please come to me, tell me. If I'm on the phone, I'm that phone type of person. If you want to talk to me and you see me on the phone, talking on the phone, come to me, tell me, hey, mommy B, I want to tell you something. Mom, I want to talk to you now. So don't just assume that I'm on the phone and you don't want to talk. So I think communication is that thing that I've learned in my 15 years of marriage, that I will tell anybody that is intending to get married, or that has already gotten married and that is in a relationship, that learn how to communicate. Don't assume. Don't take assumption. Don't believe that the person knows what is going on. Don't keep things to yourself. Speak them out. When you speak things out, it makes life easy for the other partner and makes life easy for your own self. So that is one of the things that I've learned in my 15 years of marriage. Like I would say, I didn't get it. Bitter? Yeah. Sorry. Like I would say, it's not easy. Marriage is not easy. It's a very, very difficult task. Very, very difficult. So it's a process you keep learning every day, because I would say 15 in my 15 things I've learned, in my 15 lessons I've learned in my 15 or 16 years of marriage. But then there are many more things I've learned in this 15 years or 16 years of marriage, that there are more than 1,000, more than. Every day you learn something new every day. But I think these ones are the most important things that I've learned in my 15 years of marriage. Wow. So guys, I'm going to stop today with the first 5 lessons I've learned. 5 lessons I've learned in my 15 years of marriage. And like I will say, always do your prayers. Pray. Whatever thing you have, go down on your knees and pray, and God is going to show you. God is going to show you a way to it. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to do what? Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, so that whenever I upload a video, you are going to be notified. So guys, thanks once more for watching, and see you guys in our part 2 of my 15 mistakes. No, not mistakes, lessons. 15 lessons I've learned in my 16 years of marriage. Thanks very much, and see you guys.